All right.
All right.
We're,
Sounds like Canadian.
we're back again, guys. We hope y'all have been doing well.
It's hot.
It is really hot in LA.
AF here.
What's the weather like where you guys are from? Let us know in the comments.
So quick little story, okay? The other day, literally 2 nights ago, there was a helicopter right above our apartment building. So loud. I was like slowly dozing off, and then you hear and then like one of our neighbors started a group chat with all of us. And you know how that goes. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so low to the ground. That's the lowest I've ever heard." It is literally almost midnight. I'm like, "Girl, why are you texting us?"
And then but then you texted, and then I texted, and then no one
Well,
else
we were kind of
texted.
buzzed because we had wine. I was like slowly like dozing off, right? We had wine, and then Brian gets up for something, and then he sees cops outside of our window, like 4 or 5 cop cars, and they were looking for somebody. That's what the helicopter was.
It was like a manhunt. Like they were looking through the buildings and stuff that were right in front of us.
They were like raiding these buildings. It was like going in there, and they had like, what was that? GUN.
It was
what was
like
that? It was like a beanbag one. You said,
yeah,
right?
like the ones that they'll shoot them with it, and it'll like incapacitate them. I guess that's what you said.
They were going in and out of like 3 different buildings.
Yeah.
And then like one of them ran to the car and like grabbed it, and they were like trying to tell one apartment to like evacuate.
Yeah.
There was at least 12 cops.
Yeah.
Do you think they found the person? No. They were there for like an hour, and I'm like, come on. I'm tuning in for what?
I know.
It's past my bedtime.
I'm gonna put a little clip right here of Linda
No,
dancing
do not.
to the bad boys.
I was playing that song outside the window. I was trying to hype them up. I'm like, come on, my
Get
tax
'em
dollars.
going, yeah.
My tax dollars at work here.
I'm sure you guys have shows about like your cops and stuff, but I used to watch Cops, that show.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
It was so entertaining. All right.
But so we feel super safe now that the person was not caught.
Yeah, I mean, it's LA for you. There's always crime
It's
everywhere.
just wild
Yeah.
how many cops there were.
There was like 12. No, there was like
At least
5
12.
cop cars, but at least 12 cops.
Yeah. And I guess everyone in the neighborhood thought it was a perfect opportunity to go for a midnight stroll.
Yeah, everyone was.
So many people were just casually walking by. It was funny.
Yeah. I was still gonna do
Intro. Episode
109.
109.
Guys, if you haven't yet, jump over to our vlog channel. All right, like and subscribe. Check out our latest one where we went to Yosemite. It's cool.
Yes,
it's a cool.
we
One.
went on a little getaway.
Yep.
It was nice.
We do appreciate everyone who jumps over, follows, and everything. Like,
Press subscribe, guys.
yeah, let's get it to 1,000. But all right, today's video is by a YouTuber called Tommy G.
Brian loves this guy.
I like watching his videos because lately his production has gotten super good, and also he does things that, like, if you would imagine a media that's not leaned left or right and it just tries to get to like the truth, he's been trying to do that lately with like.
He's also funny about it. Like, he's entertaining.
Yeah.
From the few I've seen.
Yeah. So this one specifically, we're gonna do extreme homelessness in America's richest city, which I believe is Washington D.C. And there's like a neighborhood that's right by I forget, like right outside of the White House and stuff. It's like where all like the lobbyists and the really rich people live. Yeah.
Shocker.
But all right, let's begin.
Folks, we're here in Washington, D.C., looking at one of the biggest problems growing in America right now. In cities all around the country, homelessness is growing.
At nighttime, you'll see weird things. Men fucking men, women fucking women.
And we're here to explore, hear people's stories, and learning more about this issue that's affecting people all over the country. Come with us as we explore. How do you think drugs get to the hood?
The government bring it. Get drag queens in the library? What the f? I gotta say it because you gotta.
Christ.
People that are just surviving.
Welcome to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.,
where there's money, power, and politics. It's a city where politicians and lobbyists make their fortune.
Yeah.
After all, 3 of the 5 richest counties in America are Washington, D.C. suburbs. But amidst this city of luxury and extravagance, there looms a hidden crisis. You see, Washington, D.C. is home to one of the biggest homeless populations in the country. But there's something strange. It isn't out in the open like Skid Row or the Zone in Phoenix. The homeless here are tucked away. They're here, but you have to find them. And today we do just that, hitting the pavement to learn more about the city's homeless issue and speaking to the homeless in their camps. Today we're in America's capital, Washington, D.C., to explore the issue of homelessness. Per capita, this is actually one of the highest rates of homelessness in the country. And I'm always intrigued by people's stories, how they started as a kid in a house and one day ended up on the street.
It used to be a tent city.
The city cleared everyone out of here?
Yeah. An encampment built up over 3 years, cleared in just 3 hours.
3 hours?
Encampment will be cleared out on February 15th.
There must have been something going on that they had to clear it out.
I mean, here they clear out the homeless if like the president comes to town or anyone like influential. They
Which
just
is
like
wild.
Yeah. It's wild, and it's like you can't be that stupid to think like things are this clean here.
I know.
And they're not you, but like
no, like the person coming through,
but like out of sight, out of mind, I guess, right? It's not a problem unless it's in
your
front
eyes.
of your face.
Yeah. I was watching some video, and someone, I forget where they were from in Europe, but they were saying that like one of the main differences of homelessness or just like poverty in Europe is a lot of it's not like right next to each other like how it is here. Like in LA, you'll have some nicer areas and there'll be like homeless camps right outside, like at a park right nearby. And they were saying that
or just like strips of tents.
And here too in LA, like you can be in a what you would consider like a lower income area and drive literally like a street over and it's like $1 million houses.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying in Europe. It's not really like that. They were saying that you have like a mass of people who pretty much make about the same, and then the rich people go to like certain areas and like will buy their stuff and separate kind of from everyone.
It's more divided there?
Yeah, I guess in a way, but I mean it's like here you like I feel like over there you wouldn't go like one street over and from where it's like
no, yeah, here there's no like gradual.
It just immediately,
change.
yeah. Like,
it's like
even in the neighborhood we live
rich.
in, it's a lot of
bizarre.
apartments in the neighborhood we're in, and then one street over, it's like houses that are like more than $1 million and up.
Yeah, but ours is not even like.
We're not in a bad area.
Yeah. Right after we talk about the story of the guy.
All right, yeah, let's continue.
High levels of criminal activity and violence at that site.
Is homelessness a big issue in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, it still is. Yeah.
It seems like the city is doing a good job of trying to make it look like there's not an issue, but there actually is an issue.
Yeah, because I still see tents here and there.
So how long was this place home?
A long time.
So this used to be a good spot for you?
Yeah, because, you had the churches and stuff, they would come here and they would help.
So at one point, this used to be a tent city, and some people might be upset. Hey, why'd you clear those people off? And I see both sides of this. On one end, someone that's in a very hard circumstance, you want them to be able to rest their head somewhere at night, and a public square might be a good fit. On the other, if you're walking around and there's feces and needles and people doing crazy and mentally ill things, and you live around here, you probably want to clear it out. It's one of those things that it's easy to be sympathetic until it's next door to your house.
Also, real quick, sorry. He did another video where he actually, like, he went through 24 hours of being like homeless. Like he slept as a homeless person in like a camp, like in a park and other stuff like that. And it's interesting to see. You should watch the other video.
We should.
See you, dog. How you doing?
Good, bro.
Okay.
How's it been?
You look like you're borderline trying to blend in around here.
Yeah, I'm a businessman. I wanted to give the homeless the respect they deserve.
We're having trouble finding homeless people.
Well, I think this is the most homeless place in America, so we'll be able to find them somewhere. I think there's a bit of a trend there. Los Angeles, one of the richest places. New York, one of the richest places. DC, one of the richest places. All three, the most homeless places.
You have an interesting blend of chess games going on, and then people that are just surviving. Find all these tents, but there's no one around.
This is turning into a very bizarre adventure we're going on.
It's almost more of a mystery than exploring the actual issue. We have our first person. So tell the people what it's like living out here and what it takes to survive.
you can't tell people you have money, but I do. I tell them I get Social Security check. And then they come around a certain time of the month, and then I fake believe that people are related to me, so they stay away from me. They got my passport, actually, my birth certificate, and my Social Security card in Miriam's kitchen safe. They've had it for 3 years now.
That's a place that helps a lot of the community,
They're supposed
right?
to help people with housing. But I've been sending emails for 3 years telling them about the drugs, the alcohol, the prostitution.
Is it bad around here?
Once you go that way, at nighttime, you'll see and hear things. Men f***ing men, women, you know, f***ing women.
Oh, you got 2 tents.
Yeah, I had quite
Do you got any
a few.
roommates?
I don't do roommates.
Is there someone that you feel like is after you or after
All the
us?
time.
Do you want to give us a little tour? So it's pretty bare bones. We got a yoga mat to sleep on, some clothes. How do you get fresh water?
GW has a water hole.
And do you use those to go to the bathroom, or are those?
I use trash bags. There's
What?
no way I'm going in there with my bags.
What's your most important supplies?
Soap and water.
I appreciate your.
Bare minimum, my necessity. Social Security card.
She's showing
We'll
it.
blur that.
Give a f- You can't hack me. I'm Irish.
Me and Brandon are on a quest to be the best YouTube journalists on the platform.
I have to say, I think one of the biggest issues, and I feel like we mentioned it before, is that like we don't see the mental health issue for what it really is here. Like it's huge here, and I think that's what we need to try to fix.
The only time people take it seriously is when they can use it as an excuse why somebody shot up a school. Then they're like, oh, it's not the guns, it's the mental health.
And stuff. Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, great. Now get people access to healthcare.
yeah,
Oh,
proper
well, no, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
In honor of this, we made a t-shirt of us kicking mainstream media's ass. Because after all, we show you the stuff that they won't. Limited edition, check it out, TommyGMcGee.com. You'll look fresh as fuck. So this is something we've both covered a few times now, and I feel like no matter how many times we cover it, it still doesn't make any more sense. It's still puzzling to get to the bottom of, and I feel like it's a problem that feels like something that will just never go away.
Yeah, it's like a problem that even when you go into these communities and talk to them, they don't seem to have a solution, but they do have a lot of complaints, right? There's something going on in DC that it seems like they're doing it right.
It's important to me to make sure people are comfortable sharing their story with me on camera. So Brandon and I go off and speak with these folks to get the all clear. How do people survive around here? Because I would imagine it's quite a job surviving.
It
Yeah.
depends on the person. Because me, myself, my IQ is 144. So I survive over my wits.
If you were mayor, what would you do to help the homeless issue in Washington, D.C.?
I would fix the fucking pedophile issue first.
What's that?
It's a nasty ass town, I already told you that. Fucking Comet, ping pong, Gordy's. I know all that shit, I don't forget shit. I know they faces too.
Are you talking about Pizzagate?
I could be.
What do you think about?
I could be.
Wait, you remember Pizzagate?
I forgot a little bit.
It was
but-
the pedophile and child trafficking ring being
I was
run through
gonna
that
say-
pizza.
Oh
pizza
yeah,
spot.
When
Yeah.
they would order pizza, they
Yeah,
would say,
comments.
honestly, the older you get, the more you realize like some of these conspiracy theories seem
More realistic than you thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you cannot tell me that some of these politicians out here are not taking advantage of prostitutes in these areas.
100%. And I will say, I do think that there's some weird shady shit that goes on in politics.
I mean,
even
remember
around
Rudy
the world. Around the
Giuliani?
world.
Was it Borat too? When
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
caught Rudy Giuliani trying to pay a hooker?
Yeah, that was really weird when that came out.
That did not get enough heat. He did not get
I
enough
think because
heat for
people are
that.
thinking like, oh, it's a joke, it's a setup.
But he
thing.
wasn't in on it. That's the difference. It's kind of like now that it's coming out with like Justin Long trying to like get a minor drunk on that show Punked. There was a show called Punked back in the day with like Ashton Kutcher. He hosted it. He
Yeah.
would like prank celebrities. We're going down a rabbit hole right now, but not rabbit hole, but like we're getting off track.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's just so many things that it's like, okay, but they didn't know it was a joke. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So
yeah.
Pizzagate.
It's fake. This shit's fucking real, Joe.
How long have you been here for? 9 months. Is it hard to survive out here?
that's funny.
So how many people live in this area right here?
Too many.
So you sometimes have people move in next door to you that you don't really know.
What's up? Chaos, man.
How you doing?
I'm Mike.
What's going on?
I'm Tommy. Nice to meet you. If you were mayor of Washington, D.C., what would you do about the homeless situation? What would you do to help people and make sure the city is safe?
Let me tell you why homelessness in metropolitan cities would never be fixed. COVID hit, right? Trump got everybody in the United States money. If you didn't get that money when COVID hit, you're just lazy.
Was that a good idea or a bad idea to give everyone money?
It's a bad idea, man. Look at our budget now. You got regular unemployment, you had the pandemic unemployment. Every homeless person out here was getting $785 a week. You would think that every homeless person out here would be in a house by now.
I say it against the bullshit ass holiday.
A house of $700 a week.
Or an apartment, but I think it's also because there's
But even then, like, you have to have credit. There's so much other factors that play into it.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
They know you're homeless, or they suspect you're homeless. You're not getting an apartment. You're not getting approved.
Well, there's also that also comes into play that there's like a drug issue, a huge drug issue, especially
Totally.
in that area.
But
there's
you
a lot
can't
of, like,
expect
fentanyl.
someone that all of a sudden has access to money to just have like their addiction's gone, like they're fine now.
No, I know. I think that they would need somewhere to. They would need somewhere first to be like, oh, I can call this place my own. Now let me try to fix this.
Right.
But
I don't know what their resources are like out there, but like I do definitely think everything happens so quickly too. So like I'm not faulting anyone, but it would be cool if any of the programs that are meant to help like kind of stepped in and were like, okay, we know you guys have more access to funds, like this is what we think you guys should do, like to get yourself lifted and like I don't know, but I mean we obviously have no idea what was going on with them in that time.
Oh.
I don't think you should victim blame though, because you're gonna get, it's like giving a kid money that wants
know any better,
candy and you're like confused why they didn't use it to pay for school supplies.
Holidays bullshit.
Dude, all the holidays are bullshit.
Do you think that Black History Month falls on the right month?
Fuck no. It should be June, and Gay Pride should be February. I'll be honest with you, I don't condone that stuff, but I'm not against it either. It's your personal choice. Keep it in your house, though. You don't see me off and just doing everything outside. Keep that shit in your house. Stop teaching my children that shit. Children don't know what they're doing till they're 18. That's common sense. Fucking drag queens in the library, and they say it's an art.
On top of the free money, you got free clothes, shelter provided to you. City gives you tents for free. People like you come around, pay $10 a person to do an interview. The churches to come out every Saturday and Sunday. You give out gift cards and all of these things, right? 90% of that is dispersed, goes back into drugs. We're homeless by choice.
Throwing money at the issue is not going to do it, but it's more so making.
I don't feel that way, but I can't tell somebody who's living it that they need to see a different perspective.
It's because they need.
They don't know anything but that.
That's what I'm saying.
To a degree.
Yeah.
Obviously, they did when they were younger, but like.
So the drugs, it controls all of them, like completely controls their choices. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I can't imagine being addicted to a substance and like all of a sudden my life changes financially and I'm like, I'm gonna quit now. Like that's just not how it works. And I feel like he should know that. He's around addicts all day.
I know, but I don't know. That's logical. Like that. Like you're gonna just spend more on drugs now that you have the means.
Totally.
Yeah.
I 1000%
It would take
agree.
like a third party to probably be like
Regulate it.
to force you to fix that issue.
Yeah.
The resources for people.
Resources, that's what I mean. The money, you need more resources.
How common do you think mental illness is in the homeless community?
90%.
How common do you think drug addiction is in the homeless community?
100%.
I disagree. I think mental illness is 1,000%.
Like, what about childhood trauma?
That starts the drugs. Yeah,
The females out here, most of them have childhood trauma from molestation, believe it or not.
What the f? I gotta say it because they either give the children dollars to give to the and they think we're stupid, and they got fucking help.
All right, man, well, thank you so much.
What are your takeaways so far?
I was skeptical about the fact that DC offered free housing and free apartments to people, specifically like veterans. I didn't know that they gave free apartments to them. And as we talked to people like that veteran we just spoke to, it's apparently true. So it seems that DC is providing a lot of free housing for people.
Oh, wow.
If homelessness is something that will never go away, this seems to be the best example of how to merge society with it I've seen so far.
I want to know more about like how they choose people for free housing.
They said for veterans.
Is it all veterans? Period. Like period.
I would think so. If you've fallen on financial hardship and you're a veteran.
That's
honestly that's cool to hear. I didn't
Yeah, I've
know
never
that.
heard that.
Yeah.
Because out here it's not like
You
that.
would think California would do that.
I know. We have a lot of veterans here.
Yeah.
Brandon's going to approach and just see if people are interested in telling their story. So there's a lot of tents here. To me, if I was homeless, one of the things I'd be thinking about is having the right things to survive. So you see water supplies, pretty good tents. I mean, protection from the rain. We have a way to get rid of waste. You see some couches for relaxation if you're having a little date maybe. Can you tell the people where we are right now?
We are in Northwest Georgetown, Washington, D.C.
Tell us about yourself, Snoop.
I've been a Washingtonian all my life, born and raised here. Was doing good, COVID hit, hard times set in real bad.
What were you doing before?
I had my own detailing business.
And no one was driving their cars or leaving their houses, so business wasn't good.
Shit.
I ended up on the streets. Started going to get resources and reaching out to different organizations, and got me some employment. Recently purchased me a vehicle.
What is life like out here?
Life is what you make it, As long as you mind your business and don't try not to get involved with nobody else's BS.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're pretty much safe.
Do you mind showing us your setup at all?
Propane, for the stove.
Is that golf club for sport or for self-defense?
Self-defense.
For a home invasion?
Yeah.
Have you ever had to use it?
No. When it was cold, I got heater.
How is the winter here?
It gets really cold there.
As long as you got some heat and thick blankets, you make it through.
Is the city helpful? Is it not? Like, tell the people about that.
The city is kind of helpful. It's not more so the city, it's more so different organizations that the cities get funding. They come around with sleeping bags, toiletries, water, shaving, whatever you need. They come around, or you can go around the corner to the local churches.
So if someone busts in through the tent, you're gonna turn into Tiger Woods, huh?
Oh yeah, I got you.
If you were mayor, what would you do to help the homelessness?
First of all, you have two different kind of homeless. You have homeless that deal with mental illness.
Yeah.
And then you have homeless that just got on hard times trying to get back on their feet.
So there's some people that are living paycheck to paycheck, which is a good portion of Americans right now. I think 60%. It takes one thing, a medical accident, a car accident with no insurance, to derail your life and you're here.
Yeah.
There's another population that are mentally ill.
The city needs to reach out and do more for them.
In the homeless community, what percent of people you think?
Sorry, 60% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. Like, that just shows like you have shitty government, period. You can't blame the people on that.
I will say, and also I think like one of our highest bankruptcy filings is for medical debt and things like that.
Shocker.
Because if something happens to you, like knock on wood, like cancer or something like that, and your insurance doesn't cover up to a certain amount, you're stuck paying that off unless you file bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which, yeah.
I think is what they want.
It's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy.
I've had childhood trauma.
60%.
What percent do you think have drug abuse issues?
20%.
And what percent do you think have mental illness?
40%.
How do you dispose of all the trash here? I see there's a buildup. Does someone come by and pick that up?
The city come past and pick it up tomorrow.
I have to say, I've been to a lot of cities in America. I actually think that Washington, D.C. is doing a fantastic job. They're keeping things very clean. It seems like the homeless people here are pretty happy as you can be, that they're doing their best with resources. Would you give them an A on their performance, or what would you say the government deserves on their performance for taking care of people?
I give them an A.
Yeah. So do people visit the camps once a month, once a week?
I have a counselor come past once a week.
Really?
Check on me.
How much does he or she help?
Wow, I have to say they're doing it better there than over here.
Yeah, 1000%. I also feel like this guy's state of mind is a lot different than some of the other homeless people that he interviewed.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't even mean mental awareness. I just mean like he has a better outlook on things.
Yeah.
And like he said, it is what you make it. I don't know, like I'm all for like resources and like helping, like people that take it upon themselves to like want to help people in his situation. But also I'm like, they need to put more pressure on getting these people out and rehabilitating them into a better life. Something
like the free housing or public housing, not just for veterans, maybe for like more.
Yeah, and even then you could argue like people will take advantage of that, and like, you know what I'm saying, like Do you know what I mean?
You should have, like, not in an aggressive way, but you should have, like, goals that they have to meet in order to stay there.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, like, having maybe drug tests or, like, just, like, looking for a job or, you know, those little things like that.
Right.
But nothing that's, like, super, super, like, strict or aggressive, because
I just feel like here they're not doing enough, like, at all out here to help homeless people.
I was listening to someone speak, and they mentioned that in Vienna, in Austria, like 60% of the housing is public housing.
I think I remember you saying that.
If someone knows about that, comment down below more info. Maybe we'll do a video on something like that.
But yeah, I guess I'm just comparing it to out here because that's all the experience that I have.
I have seen like
UCLA.
There's a UCLA
I know,
outreach.
Westwood. Oh, my bad.
Outreach that I saw them. You know, when you're driving on Venice going towards like where we do like the laundromat.
Yeah.
Under that freeway, and there's a lot.
Horrible.
There was a UCLA outreach like going and helping them.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm talking about housing. Like here, it looks like they're kind of like in their little hubs.
Yeah.
Sorry. Here.
They're all over.
Those who are everywhere.
Yeah.
Walking up and down the streets, like, and it's like, help these people. Like, fucking take them in and fucking help them. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that, like, there are people that are complete just lost causes, you know, and they're not worth some effort. Anyway, I can go on a whole
lot. Hopefully on the 15th I'll be moving.
Really? Is this a separate camp or is this the same kind of?
No, it's a separate camp. You know, I call this the wild side.
This is the wild side?
You know, this is where it go down there.
Yeah.
You know?
The wild
side. How is it living out here?
It's actually all right, man. You know what I mean? It sucks that, you know, no running water, no electricity. What really sucks is how the park police can just come in and search us anytime they want. Like, they came in, they saw some brown powder on a mirror, a hot chocolate packet that exploded, and they used that to search my tent and take my weed pipe, you know? So it's kind of shitty how they can do that.
So this is your car?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be surprised to see someone living in the woods you have a nicer car than I do.
I'm also a football coach.
Oh yeah? You even got tinted
he's a football
windows.
coach.
How often do you have to worry about break-ins and your stuff being stolen?
No.
After exploring the camps in the woods, Snoop wanted to take us to an important location, Miriam's, a kitchen that serves a lot of the homeless people in the area. So we walked and talked. Some people on the hardcore small government side would say it should be zero funding for the homeless. They're here because of their own choice. Why do I gotta pay for that? What do you say to those people?
Open up your eyes. Because in a heartbeat, you could be in the same position I am. Stock market crash, anything can happen. All your money gone. What you gonna do then?
It does seem like civilization is hanging by a thread right now. Do you feel like that?
Yeah.
Do you think things are actually gonna get much worse in this country?
The way it look like it, yeah, before it get any better.
Yeah. America's not perfect. We can do a lot better. But overall, it is a very good place to live.
Very good place to live.
How much money do you need a day to survive?
I would say no more than $40 a day to survive. And that's only because Murray feeds you twice a day. So the only thing you really need money is for lunch. And then you have some churches around here that feed you lunch. Food is really not.
The one thing that like what they were kind of talking about right now, I think we just need to shift a bit away from the individualistic mindset here. Like, I think we have awesome people, we have smart people, we have like hardworking people, but the individualistic mindset that the media pushes on everyone to have here,
like selfish, mean?
Yeah, like to pretty much think like, why the fuck should I put some of my money to help my other people that live here? Like, I'm doing everything myself. I did this myself. They can do that themselves. You know, like that's a lot of the mindset that separates us. Instead of thinking like, let's put everything into a pot so everyone can just be taken care of like a community.
Yeah, but that's socialism to people here.
Well,
so.
I'm not. It doesn't have
communism.
To. It doesn't have to go. Well, no, I think more socialism.
No, I'm saying here anything that's like
community.
Technically socialism. People are like, that's communist.
Yeah, I mean, and I think there's ideals that you could keep from both sides. You know, like I think like small businesses. Yeah, you need to make profit and stuff.
Yeah, I mean. People, like you were saying, like people think it's like almost taking away from them if you're contributing to something that isn't going to benefit them at all. Kind of like with like how Biden keeps trying to ride his campaign on student loan forgiveness. You hear a bunch of people saying like, I don't want to contribute to that. I don't want to help. Like, I don't want that coming out of my tax dollars and yada yada yada. And it's just like get over yourself. If you're in a financial situation where you don't owe any student loan debt, like, you're privileged already. In a sense.
Or they're gonna say I paid it off.
That's what I'm saying. If you're privileged enough to pay off your student loan debt.
But that also goes back to like our education.
That's a huge privilege.
Also, our education system should either be way less expensive or free. That's another issue too. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, it should be for sure way less expensive. I don't think it'll ever be free.
Yeah, because I mean, I think in other countries too that are like good countries like Germany and other places, I'm sure they cost, but they're very cheap. But yeah.
Issue. Tell the people where we are right now.
This is Miriam's kitchen.
And this is a big part of the community, right?
Yep.
How's dinner today? What's on the menu?
They got beef stroganoff. They got a good dinner down there. Biggest shelter in the world is what? Welfare. Let me explain why welfare is the biggest shelter. Because you in a place that you cannot own. You in a household where there's a parent. And that money does not last for the whole month. So the last 2 weeks out of the month, there's no money, there's no food. Because some states don't have pantries.
Are you saying welfare incentivizes parents not to be in the house?
Yes, welfare is the system to make you fail because they made property count and people sunk into it. Because everybody don't have an opportunity to get a good job and a career. Because everybody can't go to college. Even financial aid puts you in debt. Everything is a trap.
Well, folks, that's a wrap. And I think we had to cover, a rather positive story. Things are going well around here, and I think other cities in the country should model this, because I think this is a good solution. What do you think?
Great solution. They had more help like this out here, things would go a lot smoother.
So people are fed, people are happy, people have a place to sleep that's relatively comfortable and nice. And I think that's humans coming together to solve an issue, which is what we're here for. So, any final thoughts, Snoop?
No, sir. Y'all have a great one. Be looking out for me in the future.
All right. We'll see you next episode. Peace.
I definitely feel like Snoop is the exception when it comes to the vast majority of the homeless there, because it seemed like he was a unicorn as far as the other homeless people. It didn't seem like
it also seemed like the other ones had a bit like pretty much like mental health issues.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he was pretty much mentally stable, just
like he
on
knew
financial
this
hard
was
times.
probably a temporary situation for him, whereas other people have kind of just accepted their fate.
Yeah. I don't know how much I agree with the way Tommy was kind of
ending it.
Everything's all great. Everything. Obviously,
I think he means compared
to other places. Yeah, because it does look like I didn't know that they had that much outreach and stuff there.
Yeah,
and that they're doing that. So that's pretty cool. I hope we can start doing that in like California and other states too. You would think California and New York would do that, but
I can't imagine New York doing that. I know that here there are shelters. There are places to get like a hot meal here and there. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I don't think here they have any interest in like getting you out of that situation.
I know
they kind of like pet you there.
Yeah,
they put like band-aids over it, and I get it. Like Miriam's kitchen, I'm sure she's doing that out of the kindness of her heart. I don't think she's getting a huge incentive for that at all. I just feel like the government itself there needs to be more pressure on the government to help. Like, take this serious. Like, this should be, in my opinion,
one of the top
like an emergency.
Yeah.
You know?
National emergency.
Because I feel like the average citizen of a country, I guess I hate saying this as an example, but like, we to a sense depend on our government to do the right thing, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of the way a child depends on their parent to be a good person.
Well, they've set it up that way that we depend on them.
Right. And I don't mean fully we depend on them. Like, people bust their ass. Like, most people are working. Most people are trying to just, like, get by. Like, I'm not saying people are sitting at home and they should just be handed things. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying the same way, like, a kid expects the person who's taking care of them or serving them to be a well-rounded, healthy environment.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel like we should expect out of our government.
Well, especially because
it shouldn't feel like we're against a battle.
Well, technically, we're paying for that.
Yeah, they're supposed to serve.
Yeah, like we're paying them every year for them to like try to.
We're not paying enough. Apparently, the donations they get from corrupt corporations are More pretty than the stuff that we pay in taxes.
Yeah, but taxes is like their biggest generator. That's like one of their number one money making
contributions.
Yeah, which is insane.
But that's not one person. That's not like
no. I'm talking about
coming from one location. It's like community.
No, I know. But I'm just saying. I don't know. It was an interesting video. I like Tommy G. He's cool. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. All right, guys.
And thank you for watching. I know sometimes we go on these like tangents and stuff, but like I don't know. Some things are just really are tough to like just like be like, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Bye now.
But we like to think that's why you guys either subscribe or come back to this channel because we just
we talk too much.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when we first started, we had people that were like, "Can you guys stop talking so much?" Yeah.
I tried. I can't.
Yeah, we weeded out the people that
mic in front of my face.
We weeded out those people. But
okay.
Jump over to the vlog channel too, guys. All right.
Peace. Bye.